What is up, everybody? Welcome to another WandaVision Reviews. Here with Josh in the co-pilot chair too. And we're gonna it's Wednesday when we're filming this, and we're gonna be talking about episode 7 of Monsters at Work. I think it's the Adorable, which this episode's called. And before we start, I do this in every Monsters at Work review. I want to do like a plot or like a premise of like what Monsters at Work is about. If you're living under a rock, or you just woke up and you're like, what the hell is Monsters at Work? Well, here's what Monsters at Work is. So Monsters at Work takes place a couple of months after Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully they own the company now. They're in full control. They run under laugh power, and it follows Tyler Tuskman, who wants to be a scarer, who was a graduate at Monsters University. But unfortunately, when he arrives at Monsters Inc. on his first day, they removed scaring. They don't scare kids anymore. They make kids laugh. So unfortunately, that puts him in a bad spot, and that shifts him to this place called Myth. You know how Mike and Sully, they ended up in the mail room before they become to the big leagues. Well, this is where Tyler is. You know, where Mike and Sully were. So he's following. I guess he's following Mike and Sully in their footsteps. If I'm allowed to say that, you know. That's what it looks like. So that's what Monsters at Work's about, and he has to work on the facilities team so he can, be ready to become a jokester. But he's not. Unfortunately, he's not ready yet. He still needs some practice. So in this episode, it's hot in Monstropolis. That's like where it starts. Like the weather, it's hot, and for some reason it's too hot for them to Mike comes out of making a kid laugh or like burping for about an hour, a couple minutes, and his can is half full. So that's not good. So what they do, I got to get more jokesters. So they go so Celia, who's been promoted to, floor manager. She announces that they need like all jokesters, even from the comedy class. And Tyler's like, "Ooh, that's good. That's good for me. Maybe they'll still give me a chance to become a jokester. I mean, good. I mean, it's likely, Tyler, but good luck. Whatever happens, it's not likely. So don't try and get your hopes up. But like all these monsters are they're there, and it's like they're in the line. It all reminds me of Full Metal Jackets. Mike Wazowski is like the sergeant, and he's talking to all of his students, and literally talking to Tyler, and literally Sully holds on. I was like, Mike, can I put you down now? How long I've been holding you for a long time. Like, oh my God. Yeah. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew. I'm like, wait a minute. When did Mike become tall? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh yeah, Sully's holding him. That makes sense now. That makes sense. And fortunately, Tyler has to work with myths because their doors, like there was something wrong with the doors. And as Tyler has been such like a klutz throughout this whole series, like his horns get stuck in the what do you call it, the door handle thingy,
Hinge, the
hinge hanger,
top of the top of the
hanger.
doors.
You know how there's
Kind of.
how we have like clothes hangers, so I think I could call it like door hanger. They don't say what those things are, but I'm say it's a door hanger, whatever. I don't
Let's move on.
we don't have time to find that out in this review, but gets stuck on the door hanger and finds this abandoned door. and it's like, this is not a kid's store. I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. Abominable Snowman. Welcome to the Himalayas. Snow cone. Yeah, we got that in this episode. So I bet, I don't know about you, Josh, but I've had a question. It's like, what happened to the Abominable Snowman? What happened? Why is he banished? You know, I froze a little bit, but I hopefully the audio. Well, what happened to the Abominable Snowman? That's what I was trying to say. If I froze for a bit, because I saw that on my end, but I don't know. Might be the might be my Wi-Fi. I don't know, but uh, I bet we're all wondering why did he get banished? Because they didn't mention that in Monsters Inc., but they did show that he was banished. And Tyler ends up there, and Val has to save Tyler from the door. And even Fritz calls him tie. I'm like, oh my god, can you not? That's a little weird.
Just, I mean, well, my brother been called Tie. Well, no, I have a friend whose brother was called Tie, and my brother,
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
when my brother was ever
I
called Tie,
forgot
but you know, I don't know.
I forgot your brother is also named Tyler, so
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Jeff also spelled differently, but you know,
But yeah, Tyler in the show, this Tyler is spelled Tyl.
Lord, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway,
yeah,
so Abominable Snowman actually manages to get out of the door when Tyler gets back to to Monsters Inc. And it's like, what are you doing here? How did you get out? He's like, well, it was pretty easy. The door was open. He said something like that.
oh, yeah.
And it's like a lot of people were scared of him. It's like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here. You've been banished. And even like Cutter's being like, like a cop kind of. She's got like a stapler,
And then the little blowtorch.
little blood zone.
Like, that is kind of dangerous. Like, even in a normal case, just like you thought a gun wasn't enough? Yeah, blowtorch. I'm gonna burn your face off. Like, jeez, don't threaten me. My God,
Yeah.
the only thing more dangerous than a gun in an interrogation, construction tools. Construction tools
Yeah.
are always more dangerous.
It's
Anyway,
very, very dangerous. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, Bomb and Snowman like got okay, so I forget what I remember I was talking about something about the Bomb and Snowman like coming out of like the room, the banished like room, or like the
yeah, he came out, and then we were talking about Cutter, and then the
yeah,
blowtorch stuff.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so Tyler has referred him as dad, and that's where so I did not expect to see this character. I thought this character was supposed to be like a part of like a deleted scene, because I did not know. I mean, it said that John Ratzenberger was supposed to play Tyler's dad for this show, and it was in the deleted scene, but I guess he's in this episode. Because Tyler forgot his lunch, and he's got Sully on his lunchbox, so he was probably a fan of Sully. Huh? That's kind of funny, because he is kind of like Sully. He's big. He's got the same colors, although his horns are bigger than Sully. And literally, the photo of Sully on his lunchbox, I'm like, wow, that looks a lot like Monsters University, promo art, like of Sully, shots of them. I bet that's what it was that they used. Yeah. It literally Obama Snowman's like, hey, you sound familiar. That's funny because you both have the same voice actors. You
I don't
know,
know if it's John Ratzenberger, but it probably is.
it is. It is John.
Okay, cool. Just
Both.
double checking.
They're both.
Yeah.
And
Just double.
yeah. So unfortunately, so Tyler does not get his position as a jokester because he goes off to save the Obama snowman. It's like, you know what, we're gonna try and get you unbanished. You've been banished long enough, and you're too friendly, you're too nice. So let's fix that. So he goes off, and Mike and Sully are happy to see your bomb summon. It's like, hey, it's you again. It's like,
Yeah.
no
Just saw you
problem.
like a month ago, but I mean, hey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
How you doing?
yeah, he was like, well, that's a lot. That's a lot of years in Yeti years. But yeah, I'm back. Um, and literally, since Sully is like, it's like, uh they call him adorable, but I don't remember in Monsters Inc. if they said he was like adorable snowman. I'm gonna have to watch Monsters Inc. again because I don't remember that. But anyways, they're like, so it's like a bomb snowman. Since since I'm CEO of Monsters Inc., since I own a company, I hereby make you unbanished or something. He said something like that. And the bomb snowman was banished, and Mike even said he's getting promoted. And I kept thinking, I'm like, oh, are they gonna make him a jokester? Because he looks funny. He could be a jokester, But no, that's not his promotion. So it's snow cones. He's a snow cone kind of. He has a snow cone cart. And watches it. And literally, oh, I forgot to mention this. Needleman and Smitty are again like they appeared like I think once in this episode, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we saw Santa." Like, that's not Santa, you idiot! Like they thought Santa was the abominable snowman, but that's not Santa. Santa only appears during Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hot. It's supposed to be hot in the episode, and I mean, well, it's hot right now,
yeah,
so I feel for you.
I do
Well,
feel,
I relate.
I do relate.
Relatable.
Hmm. So before we go to Mike's comedy class, what we get for this episode, I want to before we end off this review, I want to even mention. So this is why the Abominable Snowman was banished. So this is like a callback from Monsters Inc. So he found like a letter, and it was the plans like Water News had to make the scream extractors. So that's why, that's why he got banished for forever. So that's
There you
why.
go. There's coming back. Full
Done.
circle.
There we go. And let's go to Mike's comedy class for this episode, which we always get for every single episode of Monsters at Work. So Mike's comedy class for this episode, it was the drum roll, the but they literally like don't get the drum beat. It's like they're doing it wrong like throughout the whole thing until at the end they got it right. That's basically that is the whole episode. And if you watch the credits, you'll notice when you watch every episode of Monsters at Work, you'll hear a voice in the credits like halfway through the ending. So we hear the Abominable Snowman because I guess this is his episode. So yeah, good to hear your voice in the credits. He's actually telling a joke, even though he doesn't become a jokester, which is funny. Just quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I almost forgot to mention there's a part when they actually first kind of introduce him when he goes through the door and there's a moment in the beginning before they reveal him, and it's a little sequence, and if you kind of see how it's filmed, it's a straight up reference to a certain movie, a certain sequel, in a certain trilogy. It's pretty obvious when you see it, but I'm not gonna say anything else. It's a pretty obvious reference.
I don't know if I noticed.
You didn't notice it? You didn't notice when
what
he was hanging upside down and
Well, well,
yeah, you're
well,
getting it?
we'll talk after. We don't have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, we'll talk after. Too dangerous, like the sport.
Anyone who knows what I'm talking about, you know. It's you watch it and you're like, oh, it's that scene from that movie. You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, that's it. That's been our review for episode 7. Episode 8 will be next week. Although might be Thursday or Friday. I might have to like push it back, just it is what it is, for reasons. And we will have we'll still have like what if this week, episode 1. Did I freeze again?
I know, no.
No. On my end, I don't know. But what if episode 1 review this week? Turner and Hooch episode 4. This week or next, we could do. I haven't seen it yet, the episode yet, but I'll watch it later. Free Guy. I'm about to push Free Guy next week. It's either this. I said last week either this week, but no, next I can see it next week. It doesn't have to be. And don't forget to subscribe to Josh. He's got you got your Army Day review, and we got our collab that we still need to do probably in a week or the week after. And yeah, it's that it. And if you want to go see our other reviews, description below and playlist videos. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the future. Peace. And don't forget to rock on.